I'm seeing this all over the internet that people are saying that BlackRock, for some reason, is manipulating the Bitcoin market right now. Because right now we're down below 41,000 again, 40,915 from recent highs of almost 50,000. So the only people to blame, the only one to blame is BlackRock. Obviously, BlackRock, the evil empire BlackRock. And I just want to address that real quickly because I'm seeing that more and more on the internet. That people are saying BlackRock is driving this market down. For whatever reason, why does BlackRock want to drive this market down? For obvious reasons, because they want to buy cheap Bitcoin. So they want to buy a lot of cheap Bitcoin. And so they're doing something, and nobody really knows what, but it's going to drive Bitcoin down so they can just accumulate all the Bitcoin, and everybody else out there is going to be left without any Bitcoin because BlackRock owns it all. And I'm hearing this a lot from some big YouTubers. People with large channels, millions and millions of subscribers are saying this. BlackRock's driving the market down. And I want to think about that for a second because I think it's nonsense. It's complete nonsense. And the reason I think it's nonsense is because, first of all, BlackRock is buying Bitcoin for their clients. So why would they be driving the market, Bitcoin market down right now when it's their own clients that they're purchasing it for? So let's say you have, you're a really good client and you buy the ETF for them a few days ago, and now all of a sudden it drops 10% or 20%. Or whatever far it goes down. Maybe it goes into the 30s. How does that look for that client that you just purchased the ETF for? It doesn't look good. So no, once BlackRock starts buying for their clients, they're not in this to drive the market down so they can get it cheaper for their other clients. A client of BlackRock's a client of BlackRock. They're not going to try to beat. I mean, they've already put billions of dollars into BlackRock. They're not going to burn that first few billion that they put into BlackRock. They put into Bitcoin ETF, and now all of a sudden drive the price down. So the next clients that they get into this are going to get a cheaper price. It doesn't make any sense, and it goes against what their obvious intent is, and that's for their clients to make money in this ETF. So no, BlackRock's not driving this market down. And anybody that's listening to that kind of stuff probably needs to find new people to listen to, because if you're listening to the fact that BlackRock is driving the market down simply so they want to help their clients out, or other clients, you already got millions of dollars, billions of dollars worth of money into this thing. If they want to help, I guess their first group out or second group out by driving the price down more, that's literally nonsense. I mean, I hear so much garbage on the internet. It's crazy. And a lot of these people have massive channels. I mean, gosh, there are millions. I was listening to Altcoin Daily. I did a video about those guys. They got over 1.5 million subscribers. And literally they were talking about $30,000 Bitcoin a month ago. And I made a video about it. And somebody come back and said, well, it could go to 30,000. I said, well, not in my world, it doesn't. But Altcoin with 30.5 million subscribers was calling for $30,000 Bitcoin. In fact, they were hoping that it would go down to 30,000. You can go back and check the video out if you like. But anyway, I'll share my screen with you real quick. This is the right one. There I go. Okay, so bring up the browser here. So we're taking a little bit of a drop. It's 40,915. It was up over 41,000 here recently. Just yesterday it was up. So we're like, it was down here this morning at 40,600, came back up to about 41.2. Now it took another big nosedive back to 40,718. It's probably come up since I even started this video. Is it back? Yeah, it's up close to 40,000. 41,000. So anyway, I'm live. If anybody else has an opinion, give it to me. I'd like to hear what you got to say. Bring up that opinion box. So since I'm coming on really randomly, nobody knows I'm here. So I'm talking to myself basically right now. But I want to put this out real quickly. I've been on for about 5 minutes, but BlackRock is not driving this market down. And anybody thinks that it is crazy, because BlackRock's buying for clients right now. Why would they be driving the price down? That makes no sense. And plus, the price hasn't really gone down that much anyway. Put this into perspective. On a 7-day, or if you go a 30-day, I mean, we're down from where we were mid-December. We're a little bit late January, so we're down around mid-December prices. and we're in mid-January. So gosh, we've lost a month worth of trading. It's no big deal. If you want to know my opinion on two things, the Grayscale trust is knocking this down. And the other thing that's knocking us back a little bit from where it should be, and of course, I was one of the ones thought that this would go straight up and keep going until the halving. But obviously, this isn't the way it's turning out. It's going to have a little bit of a lull before the halving, before that. And it's not going to be, I expect any day it's going to pop back to 45,000, maybe higher. But I would say the biggest reason why this has gone down is you had so many people playing this short-term event. And that's about what it looks like. You know, we've had a few $1,000 drop in Bitcoin. And most of this has been probably because of speculation. So people that don't understand Bitcoin said, oh, they're going to announce an ETF. I'll play that ETF. Almost like when I was a stockbroker, people used to play the dividend game. So whenever dividends were announced, people would buy stock, or whatever dividends would pay off or whatever, they would buy it, then they would sell it right after the dividend was paid out. So people used to do that all the time, called ex-dividend. So they would play the dividend game with the stock market, you know, buy prior to a dividend, sell after the dividend was given out. And they would do that. That's what they've done here. There was basically a dividend built into the price of Bitcoin, which was, hey, we're going to get an ETF. Once we get a spot ETF, sell the Bitcoin, because now we have to wait for the next bunch of news. But those are non-understanding Bitcoin people. I got one person watching. Thank you. Those are non-understanding people. I got into Bitcoin a while ago because I knew that halving was coming. I was interested in the ETF. I thought that was, I mean, I knew the ETF was happening when they had the lawsuit. That was in October. But prior to that time, I mean, I was hanging on to Bitcoin because I knew that we had a halving coming up. So I was more vested in the halving than I was the ETF. So anyway, the ETF was a nice addition to Bitcoin, but you know, it's not the reason to own Bitcoin right now. The reason to own Bitcoin right now is because we're coming up on a halving, which means half the rewards are going to go away real quick, which hardens Bitcoin. There's only 21 Bitcoin ever to be mined in the history of Bitcoin, and every 4 years those rewards get cut in half. So at that time, this is going to become very, very. It hardens Bitcoin. It makes Bitcoin so there's less. This is the only thing in the world, as what we're doing as far as, you know, fiat currencies are concerned and all the other things we have going on. This is the only thing in the world that really is a fixed supply. Even gold doesn't have a fixed supply. Silver doesn't have a fixed supply. No commodity, corn, grain, oil, any of those. Nothing has a fixed supply. The only thing that has a fixed supply is Bitcoin. Everything else, we don't know what the supply is. The supply is based on production. You know, the gold price goes up, the production goes up. Corn price goes up, production goes up. Silver price goes up, production goes up. With Bitcoin, every 4 years, production goes down because the rewards are half as much as they were before. So there's going to be a day, not in my lifetime, but somebody's lifetime, well, there'll be no more Bitcoin. There'll be no more mining of Bitcoin. That will go away. It'll simply be the Bitcoin that exists. I can't remember what date that is. The last date. Let me see what I'll look it up on the internet. Last date of Bitcoin will be aligned. Gotta put it in here, right? Last date, Bitcoin. We'll find out what that is. Okay, so according to the blockchain, last Bitcoin estimated to be mined in 2140. This is because the last Bitcoin halving is expected to occur in 2140. So that's a long way from when I'm going to be long gone by that time. So yeah, in 2140, no one will mine Bitcoin anymore. So it'll get harder and harder and harder and harder and harder. And we'll only have 21 million Bitcoin. And we don't even have 21 million because what happened, there are a lot of it's 1 million of it belongs to Satoshi Nakamoto, who hasn't showed up in the world for like 12 years, or what, since 2010 probably is when the last time Satoshi was on the message boards. So Satoshi hasn't been around for 14, 15 years. So, hey, you know, he's not around anymore. He's got 1 million Bitcoin. How many millions have been lost? I mean, there was a time when Bitcoin was less than $100. You know, if you had if you had 50 Bitcoin, you know, and $100, you know, you had a little bit of money. Let's say you just had 10 Bitcoin at $50, $500. There were a lot of people just forgot about that. I mean, I've done that. I've forgotten about coins that are on certain places. You know, have a little bit of a few $100s of an altcoin, have it on some decentralized um, decentralized um, cryptocurrency exchange and just forget it exists. I mean, if I had to go back and really think about all the places I put, you know, my crypto over the years, I know I've got crypto on exchanges that I haven't been on for a long time. And, you know, I just totally forgot about it. Just wasn't something I was, you know, it didn't amount to much money, and maybe the altcoin wasn't doing well. So I just basically, you know, forgot about it. Didn't go there anymore. So I know that exists. So anyway, don't worry about the price. Don't think BlackRock's driving it down. That's nonsense. They're not going to drive it down for their own clients. It's back up over 41,000. So I thought I'd make a quick live update for that reason. Let people know. Don't panic. Don't run away. Don't hide. And don't get scared, because there's nothing to be scared about. I appreciate you watching. Thank you.